Hello, hello. Tyler Bryden here. Hope everything's going well. As always, appreciate you tuning in. Today I'm going to go a little bit into the matrix just for a second to share the theme of today, which is basically an alternative to DALL-E image generation that was spawned through the YouTube comments on my video, which was the most popular video to date, which I was excited about. And then this was an awesome sort of feedback loop for me, who obviously cares a lot about large language models, the impact of it, and this Miss Scott, shout out Miss Scott, cool name, basically said, I've been waiting for DALL-E, I haven't got access, and so I've been using MidJourney. And maybe they're not on perfect par with the images and realism specifically of DALL-E, but overall it's a viable alternative. And I said, I had never heard of this before. And as someone who cares so much about sort of these models and the impact of it, I was like, I gotta check this out. The other feedback was that there are a lot of people who have applied for DALL-E access and are waiting. Some people have been waiting since April 2021 or something. So like, there's people who have been waiting 2 months, et cetera, more. And so they're looking for ways to interact with this technology and are looking for an alternative. And thanks again to Miss Scott, who pointed out an alternative. And then so I wanted to do a little bit of a look at who is MidJourney, what is it, how well does it work, what's going on here, how had I never heard of it before, and how can you get access to it? So there is a beta. This beta seems like it's opening up even more. And yes, it's popping you into a Discord channel here, which seems like it's, fairly active. And what I'm also seeing is like, there's a lot of people joining. I think I saw like 95,000 people in. And then this is how you are, I got to go through and exactly see. I'm just sort of new and fresh into this. But first of all, how exactly do I get access to the beta? Apparently there's a link that can get you access within 24 hours. And then there's now feedback, show and tell, discussion, et cetera, et cetera. So they are, through Discord, fostering a really beautiful community around image generation here. And it seems like there is a lot going on. Or sometimes people have these Discord channels that are they create them and then they're just empty and not much is going on. This one is much more active. And what I'm finding just from an initial view of these images is that they're just stunningly beautiful. And DALL-E itself seems to have an inclination to make like good looking images, but for some reason I'm just finding the impact of these images to be very, very powerful. And it does look like people are sort of manipulating the queries and text input and everything into it, but I'm really liking the output here. And then you can see, so it jumped to 80K and it's going, it's going very quickly. So this is getting more and more popular. A couple other things that I wanted to touch on is just like the stacked team that this has. Like, so first of all, they're self-funded, design, human infrastructure, and AI, 11 full-time, and just an amazing set of advisors. And they are not overselling when they say amazing advisor. Jim Keller, if you don't know who Jim Keller is, an incredible talk with Lex Fridman on his podcast about it. And he's just a brilliant mind who designed some of the sort of first microchips. A couple other people here who I shouldn't even say just other people, like the CEO of GitHub, the founder of Second Life, founder of Avid Technology, and the creator of Clip-Guided Diffusion, which is a massive sort of library and an incredible contribution to all this stuff is happening. So they are hiring, so that's good to know. So I think just because of the success of some of these people, they are not, when people think of self-funded, sometimes they think, oh, like bootstrap, tiny, and they're probably being, lean with the money that they're spending, but these are not low budget people. These are people who have access to capital. David Holtz, who is an executive on the team, is the founder of Leap Motion and researcher at NASA. So these are legit people doing this. I've got a couple links just for you to check out, and just if you want to learn more about them, sort of follow them out, a couple Wikipedias and a couple Twitter, if you are interested in. And then what I started to do a little bit of a deeper dive on, like, what is MidJourney, and not too much on them, frankly. So tool is currently in closed beta, but it looks like they are moving towards an open beta and then hopefully a more large scale release, which is what everyone wants, and everyone wants access to these technologies. We have a GitHub library here to sort of experience the tools. So so they're continuing linking you back to the Discord, and then there's also access to a web app here too. They are looking like they are again, focusing on fostering the community, bringing in this sort of ethics piece here, and then it looks like I hadn't actually seen this part yet, is that they generally are looking at the MidJourney bot in Discord to create these images. So very, very fascinating community development and creation. Interesting, very interesting that they're doing in actually the way to create these end images. So wow, that's a new, I didn't scroll all the way down through this GitHub. So that's a great resource and just teaches you a little bit more. And I've just got a couple articles that are sort of talking about MidJourney, about the art style. And it looks like, again, it's sort of instructions and different options for how you create the prompt that then allows you to generate the image. But man, like, look at these overall, just like pretty mind-blowing images, right? So I'll stop talking and just sort of soak this in for a second. And for anyone who's listening to this and not watching, I'm sorry, but basically we're just looking at some of the most striking images that I, if I was an artist, which I am not, like, these would be things I wish I could create and have the imagination to create. And they are just turning out stunningly and in massive size scale too. So huge images that are being rendered. And I think this is where people are truly talking about the viability of this being a DallE alternative. So I just am pretty mind blown overall by the outputs. Like I think this is a really exciting time in technology, something I'm just inspired by every day. I'm not even playing with the DallE image generation enough. I feel almost ashamed. But a couple other articles just sort of talking about McDonald's in underwater store design. Like, holy crap. I don't know if they did, like, they're saying that that's the prompt and it just created it like that. So I don't know what MidJourney is automatically putting in to generate. Like in DallE, you would put like digital art style or et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know how MidJourney is arriving at those just stunning images so quickly. And then you can see I've got their Twitter here, which continues to grow in following. I love when people follow no one yet have a lot of followers, so that's awesome. And to me, not to expose any of my friends, but the people who are following these are cool people. I like them. I like them all a lot. So shout out to them, anyone who's discovered this. A couple other people talking about, so there are some YouTube videos about it, about the best way to find the galleries, to make the images, to get the full image sort of renders that are high quality. Like, oh my God, man, look at these. Absolutely stunning. Wow. Recently, videos, yes, this was that video that was linked. People asking what is MidJourney, which was the exact question that I asked. And originally, we talked about sort of DallE Mini, and then there is Crayon here as well too. So this whole thing is just being spawned, and there's so much interest in it. And when I think of, obviously this sort of NFT and all this stuff, but and people like sort of question how valuable this is, and like, to me, the fact that you can take a text prompt and turn it into something like this, that is, although maybe people think of it as entertainment, I think this is true value. People look for creativity, and the fact that there's technology that just enables you to do it like this, it's mind-blowing. I really am just absolutely enthralled by it. And there's this article did a great job actually doing direct comparisons. So see DallE 1, DallE 2, but then they also compared the MidJourney Fox directly to it. And so they are saying at the hyper realist, sort of more photorealism, MidJourney isn't as clean, but the actual art rendering of it are very good. And MidJourney images look a lot more like art, not incredibly photorealistic. And you can't manipulate the images as much. So everything is public in this Discord channel. There's lots more, so I recommend checking that out. I have the link to the site, so you can join that and go in there. And Discord obviously gets a little bit noisy and everything, but I've dropped all these links in, just incredibly fascinating. One other thing that I noticed just was submitted 17 days ago, and we'll see, but there was sort of apparently a lawsuit against MidJourney AI for using artworks created by others online. And so, and they used it as data to train their AI software. So someone says, morally, I feel that this is wrong. I want to hear your takes. And then sort of a a little bit of a conversation on sort of intellectual property, copyright. Are these images truly original? Should there be attribution or crediting? I think there is a fascinating discussion that arises from all this as we sort of continue to scrape the internet, which is full of amazing people's works and art. And then now all of a sudden we've got these machines that can generate art at this just exquisite quality. What does this mean for artists? What does this mean for copyright, intellectual property, IP, all this stuff? And even that one image that they showed was McDonald's. So McDonald's is a trademark. McDonald's is a huge brand, and that is is that going to create problems here moving forward? I think as more people get beyond just sort of beta access and open, sort of closed, blah blah blah. Great communication, Tyler. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Then these challenges are going to be even more public. These conversations are going to continue to rise, and there's still a very limited amount of people who are using these technologies. But that's going to increase, and with that, more scrutiny, more focus, more attention. So that's it for me today. I hope that you learned a little about MidJourney. I'm, currently enthralled. I'm going to play around the Discord, do maybe some comparisons. Check out these links. As always, try to build some resources in and give credit where I can for all the stuff that I'm looking at. And thank you to Original. Shout out to the OG Miss Scott for pointing out MidJourney and showing it as a possible viable opportunity to DallE. So if you have any questions, I guess you can ask me, or you can go into that Discord, ask questions. But I always love hearing from you. So if you are watching this, like, subscribe, comment, whatever you're doing, or just send me a message. I love hearing from you and appreciate this very much. This has been Tyler Brad, and I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Bye-bye.